Hello, welcome to Stanford Farm, Indiana. We're going to show you our cover crops today. This is our first YouTube video, so forgive us if we have stuff to learn about editing and being concise, but this is our cover crop that we planted mid-September last year. It's cereal rye and hairy vetch. Today is May 14th. And because it's all flowering, we're just about ready to start cutting it. And the hairy vetch has just started to bloom. I'd like it to bloom a little bit more so it gets its maximum growth, but I also have to start getting on it because it's getting late in the season and I want to get our tomatoes and peppers and flowers out. So the first way that I've always terminated this is after it flowers, it'll just die when you cut it, so you can cut it down to stubble. This is my scythe that I've had for a lot of years. I got this blade as a replacement for my original. It was like 60 bucks 10 years ago from Scythe Supply, and I think the whole thing might be, at the time, a while back, it was like 200 or something for handle and scythe and sharpening stone. But it's a great tool to have a good one. If you've never used a good one, you found one in an old barn and tried to swing it. So, all right, so I'm going to demonstrate a little cut here. It also cuts a lot easier after it's bloomed because it's starting to get kind of brittle, hardening off, getting a little coarser, which also makes it a little longer lasting mulch. So this is cutting pretty good right here. There's not so much vetch in here. The vetch makes it kind of a tangled mess and doesn't swing very well. If you want to learn to scythe, you should probably watch another video because I'm kind of a hack at it. But I get it done. They're small beds. You're supposed to make broad, sweeping circles, you know, keeping it close to the ground and taking a few inches off of the face of what you're cutting. You're not supposed to use your arms, you're supposed to use your hips. So that's making pretty good mulch right there. That would be maybe about a third of the mulch on our garden beds, and then I thicken it up with leaves or spoiled hay. If I don't have any other mulch to add, I can make circles of this. And then in the stubble that's left in the bed, I can plant a summer cover crop of buckwheat. So I'll make a circle of the mulch I have with the cover crop and plant a watermelon or something in the middle of it and then do buckwheat around it. By the time those melons are going to run, I can cut the buckwheat down and that keeps the weeds down pretty good. So this also had daikon radish in it last fall, but they're all dead now. They die over the winter like they're supposed to, but they make some good tunnels down. But I'm thinking, like, I've heard a lot that mixes are a lot better than a single cover crop, and I'm starting to believe it, even though it makes it a little harder to manage. So I'm going to show you a second patch of cover crop up here. You can actually get a shot of this pumpkin patch that we have going here. This is giant pumpkins that we're growing, and this was all standing rye and vetch, which we whacked some circles out of, then put some mounds up of compost. And we're leaving this up right now as kind of a wind barrier and maybe to help keep the deer and rabbits out of there a little bit. But soon we're going to flatten this down and mulch the rest of this out and hopefully get a 1,000-pound pumpkin out of there. But not sure why we want to do that, but we're in a competition with some friends. Next year we're going to go for the giant watermelon instead. So up here is a different patch of cover crop that I have. This is from Byron Seeds. They're a seed dealer in Rockville, Indiana. They make all kinds of mixes. I got this from a dealer of theirs, Luke Rhodes of White River Ag. He said that people rave about this one. It's vetch, which is blooming here, and it's annual rye grass, which is different than cereal rye, right there. And it doesn't grow as robust, but it's supposed to make more stuff in its roots. So all these cover crops are feeding sugars out into the soil to feed the food web there. And this had daikon radish, and it also has this crimson clover, which is really beautiful. It's a bright color of red. Yep. But the annual ryegrass is a little harder to kill than that rye. We've grown this once before, and I mowed it and kept mowing it, and it kept regrowing until about mid-July. It kept trying to make seeds, finally died. So this year I'm going to flatten it all and then put a tarp on it, which show you my method for flattening here that I'm trying. We're also going to try this a little bit with the other cereal rye. We're also going to try, you can strap a fence post to a metal fence post to your foot, and two of you walk down a bed and stomp it flat, and that gives it a little crimping that also helps to kill it. But I'm not thinking this will kill this, but it's going to make it flat, and then I'm going to put a tarp over the whole thing. And the flatter it is, the faster it'll die under that tarp. So I get some, they're kind of like the billboard tarps, but I get them at Plywood King in Spencer, Indiana, and spread them out, and I'm hoping that like in 2 weeks or so, that'll be dead under there, and then we can pull it off and plant. But I hate plastic to death, but it is useful. I'm going to get a silage tarp soon, I think. I've been hesitating on that too, but the silage tarps are really big, lightweight polyethylene. So I'm going to run down here and show you how this is going, and this has been flattened up here to that side already. So this is just making it flat and close to the ground, this concrete roller. It's doing a pretty good job. I just tried this for the first time this morning. I'm pretty happy with it. It's definitely easier than scything this vetch, which is a tangled thing and hard to scythe. And I'm hoping that the fence post thing will be good on the cereal rye. It lays it all in the same direction, which makes it keep weeds down better. But I think I blabbed on long enough. I'd like to thank the other YouTubers who I've watched, No-Till Growers, Diego Footer. I've learned a lot from those two channels, and yep, remember to put your phone down every once in a while and get outside. All right, have a good day.